Welcome to another episode of Watch Me Do Family History with Chris Knudsen. Today I'm going to work on my family tree and I'm going to try to make the tree more full. Making the tree more full can mean adding new people to the tree. It can mean adding children to the tree. It can mean adding new spouses to the tree, or looking for spouses that don't have parents and adding those parents to the tree. Let's get started. So here I am looking at my tree in fan chart view, and I'm also looking at birthplace view, and this shows me that most of my immediate ancestors are from the United States. And today I want to stay in the United States, and I think I'm going to pick my dad's line and my grandma's line. And I'm going to stay in the Lamb line. Let's go to Lewis Edwin Lamb. I'm going to click on his fan chart. And my goal is to go back to the 1700s and then come back down forward past the 1850s. So here we are with Lewis Edwin Lamb Sr. And it looks like this fluorescent green is just British colonial America, which is the same as United States, just it's the years before 1776 is British colonial America or United States. Let's see. We've got Lamb, Clark, Blackmore, Cook, Merrill, Moses, Shepherd, Crane, Clausen, Whitehead, Martin, Rosanna, and then the rest of these are in Wales. So let's stick with the United States, and how about we try George Shepherd? So he was born in 1751. So I'm going to click on him, and I'm going to click on his tree. And most of his ancestors came from England, it looks like. And I'm going to switch from fan chart to descendancy view. So I'm going to click on fan chart and I'm going to click on descendancy view. So it looks like George here had several different wives. So you've got George, his first wife Jemima, second wife Elizabeth Crane, third wife, oh, that's probably a duplicate, and Abigail Mix Crane. So a lot of these are duplicates. I don't want to deal with duplicates today, but let's go ahead and go through George Shepherd. So I'm going to click on this arrow thing here, which will open up the descendants of George Shepherd, the son. Okay, so then George Shepherd married Sarah Weed, and they had several children. And let's stick with the first oldest child. We're going to click on Susan Shepherd's little arrow here, caret thing. And she married a Timothy Harding. And there was a Jane Harding, Cynthia Harding, and a son. So they don't know much about that one. I'm going to click on Cynthia Harding. And the goal is to come back forward to the 1850s before we start looking for things. So Mary Josephine Belden, we're going to click on that one. And she married a William C. Van Loo Hoagland. And here we have a Frederick Timothy Hoagland, George A. Hoagland, and a Harry Eugene Hoagland. So this George A. Hoagland does not have a spouse, and neither does Harry. Harry only lived to be 21 years old, so it's possible he died before getting married. This George A. Hoagland has a blue square over here to the right, indicating a record hint. So that might be some possible work that can be done to make the tree fuller. I'm going to click on Frederick, though, just to see what his line looks like. So he had two children, Harry and Esther. Esther was born near birth. Born and died in the same year. Harry Harwood Hoagland only lived to be 22. So that would be very sad if there's actually no descendants from this William C. Van Mary and William Hoagland. So maybe let's check and see if George A. Hoagland has any descendants. So I'm looking for George A. Hoagland. He's got 5 sources already, but I want to leave this descendancy chart open. If I click on this guy's person page, it replaces the tree with the person page, and then I have to reopen all those layers of people, and I don't want to have to do that. So I'm going to right click on George A. Hoagland person, and I'm going to say open link in new tab. So now I'm going to go up here and click on this tab that's opening up, and we're going to look at his sources first to see if it's already full of census records and different things like that. Okay, so it looks like there might be a Montana County marriage. He died in Montana, it says. So, but there's all these possible duplicates. So I'm going to let's learn a little bit more about him. So it says here he was born in Castile, Wyoming. That's weird. Christening when he was 15. I wonder if that's true. And died in Rosebud, Montana. George A. Hoagland. So we know his parents were William and Mary, and he's got siblings. So 1880 census will confirm this family relationship. So let's see if he's got an 1880 census. So he has an 1870 census, or an 1870 birth record, an 1880 census, an 1885 census, and it looks like a death record here, and then a Montrose family history thing that was added here. So let's look for let's look at this 1880 census just to confirm his family relationships that we already have. So here we have his son, or his dad, William, and Josephine, his brother Frederick, and it says here another brother, Harry. I thought there was a Josephine. Let's go back to details. William and Mary Josephine. Okay, that makes sense. And this says that William was born in 1839 and Mary was born in 1842, a 3-year difference. Whereas this says Josephine, there's a 6-year difference, but that's not uncommon. Brother Frederick, Harry, Frederick, George, and Harry. Frederick, George, and Harry. Okay, so that is the family. So where did George go? Where did George A. Hoagland go? In the 1900s. First, I guess we got to look at these duplicates. So I'm going to hit possible duplicate because we want to clean up the tree. Let's look at this. So we don't want multiple people of the same name to exist on the tree if they're the same people. Okay, so this is a christening record from Blackhawk. Somebody must have added this record to both of them, to both of these people. Otherwise, it does say William and Mary, Mary J, siblings George and Harry. Yeah, this is this is definitely intended to be the same person. All the information is the same. So we're going to click yes. We're going to continue with this merge. And this is a fuller name. This is a abbreviated George, so we're going to keep the one on the right. Everything on the left is going to be deleted. Everything on the right is what's going to stay. So we have the exact same information here, except for this says First United Methodist Church of Cedar Falls. I like that one better, so we're going to click on that. We're going to add that better information there. And we're going to scroll down. It's adding the duplicate parents, which we'll have to merge, and the duplicate siblings, which we'll have to merge. And this Iowa births and christenings record. So I'm going to click continue. And the reason for the merge, these two people I think are the same people because all vital information and relationships match. So I'm going to add that phrase, and I'm going to click Finish Merge. And then we'll go ahead and merge his parents, duplicates. You know what? While we're at it, we might as well look at this second duplicate. See if it's somebody with a spouse. You always know it's okay to merge people when every single detail is exactly the same. Oh, here's a spouse in Cedar Falls, Iowa. And in 1885, he was living in Cedar Falls, Iowa. And they had a child, Eldera Hoagland. Okay, there was a... So what I would like to do is... let's go back to George. Wait, let me remember. So the possible spouse's name is Edna M. Fellers. There was a marriage record as a record hint. Let's go back. There was a marriage record as a record hint on George's list off to the right here. Let's go back to that and see if that's the same marriage. Iowa County marriage. Oh, there's two marriage records. George, father, mother, Edna Fellers. Okay, so that's definitely the right person. So before we go adding this record, we're going to add this, merge this duplicate. So we know that, maybe I went too fast. Let me show you again. We know that this record belongs to George because it's got the right parents, William and Mary. And then it has Edna Fellers, and it's going to have Edna's parents. So this is a good record. We know it belongs to George. And because we know, because it has his parents and this wife that we just found in this duplicate, we know that this duplicate is really George as well. So we're gonna go ahead and merge that duplicate. That way we're not adding a second duplicate for the wife to the tree, and then we'd have to merge her too. So this way we don't have to create the wife. She's already been created. We're just going to merge it. So I'm going to click yes. Let's continue. They didn't have any information on George, but they did have a marriage date and a child and a wife. So that's been added to George, and we're going to click continue. And all vital information and relationships match. We're going to click add, finish merge. Okay, and merge was successful. Now we've got all these duplicates that we're going to merge as well. So as far as for William, let's just merge William first. So we're going to click on this ID number here, and we're going to copy the ID. And then we're going to go up here and click on William. And we're going to go to his person page. And we're going to go down here to, on the right side, there's this tools section. Here you have possible duplicates, find similar people, merge by ID. Because we have the ID of that possible duplicate, we're going to click on that. And I'm going to right click in this box and paste the ID that I just copied. And I'm going to click continue. So now it's going to bring up the two Williams side by side, and the one on the left is going to be deleted when we're done. Yes, we're going to continue. We know these people are the same people. And we're going to keep the fuller name. And there's no other new information, but it's adding the duplicate spouse and children. And we're going to click continue. And all vital information is the same. Finish merge. So we're going to go faster and faster because I've already showed you how this merger process works. So now that we have William merged, we're going to merge his spouse, Mary Josephine Belden. There's this Mary J. Hoagland because they didn't know who she was. So we're going to click on the ID number. We're going to click copy ID. And then I'm going to scroll back up here and we're going to go to Mary Josephine Belden. We're going to click on her person page. And it already thinks, oh, yeah, it thinks there's this duplicate. That's the one we just copied. So we're going to review merge. So now I don't have to do that pasting of the ID number. They already knew that because these two women were married to the same man and both of them had the same first name, they thought it was a duplicate. So there's no information here. Everything is the same. So we're going to go ahead and just click yes. And it's the same person, same children. They did add one duplicate child. And there's some records that came over with this Mary. So we're going to click continue. And all vital information and relationships match. And we're going to click finish merge. Okay, now we want to merge the children. Frederick, George, Harry. So it looks like Harry's the duplicate. So this one has a death date already, so we're going to use that as the primary one. The secondary one, I'm going to click on his ID. It's probably already going to be lit. Both of their names, excuse me. This birth year is wrong. But let's compare the two and we'll see if they look like they're still the same person. So the birth years are really far apart, but they have the same parents listed. Oh, that's why. This person was created through a christening record, and because it was so far away from his birth, then it turns out that's why. So we're going to scroll down. It's not that he was born then, it's just they had the christening date, but not the birth date. So everything is exactly the same. There was just a little confusion about his birth because they were using his christening year as his birth year. Okay, everything looks good. This has the right christening location, so we're gonna replace that. That's a little more information, so we're gonna add that over. Everything else is the same, and they added a birth record there, so we're going to click continue. All vital information was the same, so we're going to click on that. We're going to click finish merge. And now we're going to Now we're going to reassess where we were. So we have Harry Eugene Hoagland. Let's go back up to William. The 3 children now are good. Let's go to his person. And if I remember right, we were trying to figure out whether or not any of the children had children. So let's go to, so here's William C. Van Loo Hoagland, and I'm going to switch over to his tree view, and this will bring up the pedigree view, not the pedigree view, the descendancy view for William, because one of their children is, oh, 2 of their children are married. Okay, so previously only one of the children were married. So now we have, that's right. This one we didn't know if they had any descendants. We added the spouse to George. She existed already as a duplicate, a duplicate George. So then we have all these. So now the tree is more full, and we have some additional records that we can add. But we're going to stop there. So you see how cleaning up the tree can be very helpful. I'm just curious whether I'm related to Edna Fellers also, so I'm going to go to her person page. This is the new person that wasn't on my tree previously, but if I click View My Relationship, it'll show me, okay, that she's related to me through marriage as the wife now of George, whereas she did not exist on the tree before. But now, what I want to see is if I'm related to her parents. I could have swore she does have parents. Okay, so in my next video, I'm going to add her parents. We have those on the marriage record, because the marriage record to George showed parents for Edna, but they have not been added. So we'll do that on the next video. If you liked this video, please click the like button. If you'd like to see more videos like this, you can click the subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to be notified when I make new videos. So hopefully you learned a little bit by watching me do family history on how to clean up your tree and add records and merge duplicates. And if you have any questions, please make a comment in the comments below and ask me anything you'd like, or if you saw something that you think I should have done differently, let me know. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next time.